I don't understand poetry. I don't think poets understand poetry. I mean, do you realize that the only group of people who've managed to make grammatic violation in art? I mean, that paired with rhyming, and they're suddenly labeled as artistic intellectuals. I mean, do you realize that the poets and rappers are essentially the same people? But nobody gives rappers the same respect as poets because society is against baggy clothing. Because hipsters are all against in that hipster clique with the sweatshirts and the wool sweaters and the berets and the big glasses. They all make me sick. They all make me sick. They really do. They sit in their little coffee shops with their little dingy laptops and they stare at the screen and they think they're such intellectuals. You know who the real intellectuals are? The people out in the street with no clothing, with no possessions. That's what got them there. Real intellectual thinking.
You're drifting off topic.
Well, it all started with a poem and a crazy poet. A crazy poet with a wool sweater sitting in a dingy coffee shop. It was an English class, and my English teacher, she gives us an assignment. My overbearing, pompous English teacher, she gives us an assignment, like an analysis. And it was an English class, which I find so unbearably ironic because the thing wasn't even written in English. At first I thought it was just like Braille or Morse code or something, but I came to the conclusion that it was just dots on a piece of paper, 12 dots, and then it said the 12 blueberries. What does that even mean?
Whatever you want it to mean. There is no wrong answer. There is never a wrong answer. Let your imagination fly away with you. Far, far away.
What about your classmates?
Classmates?
Yes, your classmates.
I can't identify with those people. Honestly, I feel like I'm the only person in that class sometimes. Every single one of them has the mentality of your classic hipster. They all think they're such intellectuals. But people who think they're intellectuals are never actually intellectuals. The depressed ones with no confidence in themselves or the world around them. Those are the real intellectuals.
Well, you just have to look at the words, Just single out the words themselves. What do they symbolize? What do they mean?
Well, it's a matter of looking at the space in between the words. The words themselves are immaterial. The silence perpetuated by the dots, breathtaking.
The only person I can relate to in that class is Joel. Because all the other idiots are sitting around analyzing metaphors and fruit. And then Joel just sits there with a little pathetic smile on his face. How you doing, buddy? I was speechless. I couldn't think of anything to write down. I was in the same position as Joel, except it wasn't because I had a low IQ. I genuinely couldn't think of the significance of 12 dots on a piece of paper. I decided to ask my dad, the classical figure of authority in my life.
I don't know anything. Ask your mother.
His yelling is the reason we can never get through border crossings without going to the interrogation room first. He's just yelling all the time. But anyway, I asked my mother too, and she's just like terribly unstable. She's very morbidly sentimental. Mom, listen to me. The poet was a normal person. Mom, the poet was a normal person. This is not a time to get emotional, Mom. The poet was a normal person. There was nothing wrong with him. I can just do it on my own. It's fine. And she's the reason we get out of the interrogation room very quickly. Everyone feels sorry for her.
Did you ask anybody else?
The internet. But the internet is another classical example of a pseudo-intellectual hipster. It dances around the actual subject for hours before actually getting to the point. And when it actually does get to the point, you're too tired to care. But even after all that, I still didn't know what to write. I stayed up all night and I had absolutely no idea what to write.
Did you actually end up writing anything?
I did a 24-page analysis. If you think about it, that's 2 pages for every dot in the poem. I'd stayed up all night writing a 24-page analysis of a poem that was only 3 lines long.
I only handed in 23 pages, but I believe in quality over quantity.
I don't know if I believe in that, but whatever works for you.
I felt like there was a strangled woman speaking to me through the poem. As a matter of fact,
When are you gonna mark our analysis?
Can I redo mine? I only did 23 pages.
I sent mine through an emailed attachment, but your computer looks really old, so I'm guessing you didn't get it.
If I get lower than a 95, I'm gonna jump off a bridge and kill myself. Twice.
Can you mark them now?
What happened after that?
I was confused. My heart felt weak. I developed a paranoia that led me to question everything around me. I lost faith in everything. The religion, atheism, the time my mother told me I was special in a good way. I mean, all I could think of about was all the homeless intellectuals living out in the street and all the overanalyzing idiots that were sitting around me.
What happened?
I don't know. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I couldn't get out of my desk. I was stuck, both physically and mentally stuck.
Are you quite sure about that? The last time you came in here, you told me that you had knocked over your table, denounced the entire class as, I quote, pretentious idiots, and your teacher as a bloated psychopath. And the time before that, you told me that you continued to rip up everyone's homework while rolling around in the discarded remains. And the first time you came to see me, you told me that you threw your chair at your teacher and she developed irregular breathing patterns, so she had to be taken to the hospital. Which version am I supposed to believe?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Then what do you remember?
I remember Joel's face. You know, everybody was shocked that day, even me, even my pretentious hip classmates. But Joel wasn't shocked. Joel wasn't shocked at all. He was in pure bliss, and it was in that moment that I became insanely jealous of him. There was something poetic about that moment, but I don't know. I don't understand poetry.